Hi, my name's Gary Harmer and I'm the Sales Director at Hikvision UK and Ireland. And I'm delighted to welcome you to the fourth event in our series of 6 Insight Live webinars. If you've been to the series before, then a warm welcome back. If you're new to us, we hope that you enjoy today's session. As much as we enjoy coming out and meeting you in real life, out at our roadshow events, we're unable to do this at the present time. But we don't want you to miss out on what's new. And that's why we're continuing with this series of online events. There'll be a further 2 sessions after today throughout the remainder of the week. So please stay with us during the week to gain information on our new technologies and solutions. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge and thank our customers, both installers and end users alike, for their continued support over what have been challenging times in recent months. Together, we have collaborated really well and maintained our customer-focused service levels. We truly value your ongoing support of our brand. So, let's continue this series with a look at our Hypro-Connect app and solution. Let me give you a quick run through of the format and agenda for today's event. We'll start with a short overview presentation from our BDM Phil Ring. And during that presentation, we would encourage you to ask any questions that you would like. And if you look at the bar on the bottom of your screen, there's a Q&A session there. So please feel free to enter your questions. And throughout today's session, we'll answer as many of those questions as we can. After Phil's presentation, we're going to have a 10-minute break. Now, why are we going to go for a 10-minute break relatively soon into the webinar? And the answer to that is because we want you to take part in today's event. It needs to be interactive. And so if you give us your questions as early as you can, that gives us a chance in the break to quickly filter those. Some of them may not be relevant for today's topic. And then we can give our specialists 5 minutes or so warning as to what's coming. And then we can make sure that we can answer as many of those as we can. And so immediately after the break, there'll be a live demonstration of the Hypro-Connect app and what it can do for you as an end user or an installer. We'll finish that session by wrapping up any remaining questions that you've put in throughout today. And then we'll come back to me at the end of the day for 2 things. The first thing is feedback. So feedback is really important to us. It allows us to continuously improve what we offer you. And it gives you the opportunity to tell us what you want us to cover in the future. So you'll be back with me and we'll talk you through a very quick survey. And in today's session, we'll give you details at the relevant time on how to gain access to the survey, which will be an online survey using Mentimeter. And then as a thank you for being here, we will automatically enter your name into a prize draw. And somebody in our marketing team is going to randomly select some winners during the course of today's session, and then we'll be giving away some amazing prizes at the end of the day. So let's get on with the show. I'm delighted to introduce to you our first presenter, Phil Ring.
Thank you, Gary. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. So this morning we're going to go through the Hypro-Connect app on the web portal as well as on the app itself. So let me start by explaining the relationship between Hypro-Connect and Hypeconnect itself. We have had Hypeconnect app for a number of years. When we transitioned from hosting the old app on our own servers to hosting it on AWS, Amazon Web Services. Hypeconnect is the end user app that allows your clients to access their devices remotely. The new Hypro-Connect is for you, the system integrators, to help manage your clients' access to their Hypeconnect app, as well as remote access to their devices. So how does Hypro-Connect actually work? It is in fact a cloud-based web portal and app service hosted on AWS. This really is a huge game changer by allowing you to monitor the health of your clients' devices remotely, and not just the devices, but the hard drive too. Alerting to you for the fact that, for example, a camera may have failed or even a hard drive has stopped recording. How many times have you or your client actually gone to download footage only to find the hard drive has actually failed and there is no footage of the incident that you were expecting to download? The main key features from left to right, enabling you both to save time and money on site with P2P connectivity with no port forwarding and having to not use a DDNS service. Hypro-Connect also, as the systems integrator, now can have has to ask for permissions and authorization from the client. to gain access to their devices in live view, which makes a huge improvement for GDPR and protecting your client's privacy. Also, it allows the opportunity for you to develop your own brand with co-branding, and also generate a recurring revenue stream by charging for these new additional services. Remote configuration is available of all devices that are available now, compatible devices, sorry, and firmware updates will be available in the future. Being able to manage who has access to these devices and what an employee can do means that you don't not only restrict access, but can divide your client sites on a regional basis per engineer. It will also help you with remotely working out and diagnosing what the actual issue may be on site, as it can be difficult for a client to explain the actual problem they are experiencing. Also, being able to link Hikvision devices together, such as linking an external camera maybe with an associated intercom. And very soon, we'll be launching our cloud storage solutions. Applications, as you can see, include the following, but really it's any site that has a Hikvision compatible device on it, or where your client demands superior service levels, or where you can offer greater service levels now yourselves with support, such as, I don't know, a bronze, silver, and gold service maintenance contract. So, a summary of the main benefits: saving both time and money on site with remote connectivity and health monitoring. Opens up a new opportunity to make money whilst delivering a far better service. Allowing greater flexibility and being able to link devices, as well as receiving real-time alerts to possible issues on site. And finally, to help protect your client's privacy by an authentication process now being required. Here you can see some of the key features that are completely free of charge, the top three. These include remote configuration, saving time on site, live view of your client's cameras, coupled with the permission and authentication to help with GDPR. The paid for additional services include health monitoring by proactively polling devices every few minutes, device abnormal notification when things go offline or fail. There is also a log that helps you keep track of who has done what on site. Cross-linkage action, being able to link devices together. Co-branding, or branding using your own logo, helping you to improve awareness. And finally, cloud storage, which will be coming soon, and is another opportunity for you to generate recurring revenue streams. We currently actually have a promotion in place for you, which will give you the opportunity to assess and understand all the benefits that are available to you, after which there'll be a small annual charge per device. It consists of a 3-month free trial of all services, not just the free top three, all those services there, across up to a maximum of 5 devices per system integrator. There's nothing stopping you obviously buying more services for more devices. Here is the current roadmap of some additional features that will be coming in the near future. As you can see there, I've touched on it already, the cloud, which is due in December, and I'll be talking more about that on the next slide. Also, the monitoring and the management of Hikvision managed switches, and cloud-based time and attendance, as well as access control. So having cloud storage option will mean that you'll be able to back up any critical cameras off-site. This will also allow you to generate a further recurring revenue stream from your clients. You can see here a typical system topology in the cloud storage solution on our site. And as you can see at the bottom, below the router, a Hypro-Connect box, which allows connectivity, and I don't know if you can see it, there's this one here, below the iPad, allows you connectivity to the storage sides of things into the cloud. And it also helps buffer anything locally if you have any problems with your internet service. So how do you get Hypro-Connect? So how do you get it? Well, you can take this opportunity now to take your phone out your pocket or off the desk, open your QR scanner and scan the QR codes. Or you can just go to the Hikvision App Store or the Hikvision website. Whilst you're doing that, if you could, we're going to take a short break in the very near future. If you can go to the Q&A section at the bottom of your Zoom page now and start writing in some questions, anything that I've covered now, anything you want clarification on, anything that you might think that we may not cover in the live demo, you can go into the Q&A session and start asking those questions now. During the break, we're going to take out probably the top 10 or 15 questions, most frequently asked questions, and answer those. Also, as Gary alluded to, we want feedback from you guys. So there is a survey at the end. And on the next page, you're going to see the Mentimeter page, where there's a link, and there's also a 7-digit code. If you go into that and actually start the process, it will speed up this whole webinar. You will only see the first question. It will not allow you to move on to the second question, as we really want to get all this data live as when I hand back to Gary. So as I said, we're going to go to a break, after which I'm going to be joined by my colleague Dan Hawkins, and we're going to be going through a live demo of the web portal and the app. So we look forward to seeing you soon. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us again. So I'm now being joined by Dan Hawkins. Thank you for joining us, Dan.
Thank you.
Who's going to do a live demo of the Hypeconnect web portal and app. So Dan, can you talk us through the actual homepage of Hypeconnect, please?
Sure. Here you can see the landing page of Hypro-Connect. As the installer, you'll log on to this page. Here we have a dashboard, a general overview of all the sites and locations that the installer looks after. It includes exceptions, device abnormalities, and frequently used functions. The dashboard is designed to give you a quick overview and status of the systems and sites you look after. On the left is our navigation bar. This enables us to navigate around the site.
Okay, so where it says site, is that where we manage our locations?
Yes, the site page is a list of all the sites or locations that you as the installer manage. We have several sites here. 2 of them are populated and 2 are empty, ready for this demonstration. You can see the site name, the address, and the local owner of the site, and a little bit of brief status. You can quickly add new site owners. Once confirmed, they receive a notification in the Hypeconnect application. There's another great feature here, migration. If you already have devices and sites registered in the Hypeconnect, then you can automatically add them into the ProConnect application from here.
Okay, so how would you actually add a site?
Well, to begin with, we select the Add a New Site button. We enter some basic details about the site, including the site name and address. Once the site is created, we enter a new splash page where we can add devices to our site. We also have the ability here to add new local owners or end users to the sites that we have created.
Okay, and what is the extra detail that you see towards the bottom?
So a really neat feature is all the instruction given on the page. This helps to show step by step everything you need to do to get started.
Okay. And can you tell me a bit more about the health monitoring? That seems to be the next.
Yeah. So next on the function tree is health monitoring. For me, this is the most crucial part of the system. We can actually, for once, be proactive towards the end user by being notified of any device exceptions or faults. The health status gives us a global overview by site or by product. Devices that are experiencing faults or exceptions are given a red tag, so you can easily identify a fault or exception. We can actually drill down to the device and see what the problem is. We can get some basic information about the system and also filter by devices that may have hard drive issues or offline cameras. We can also use remote configuration tool to interrogate the device remotely, live view, or view some recorded footage.
Okay, and what the exception center?
At the exception center, you can see all of the critical system errors that are being generated by the products in your site. These can come from hard drive errors to signal problems to tamper issues.
Okay, so tell us about the company tab next, if you would, and the customers and how you change the experience for end users.
The company tab is where you edit all of the company information for yourselves as the installer and the end users. If you have a company logo, you can add this in here. We also have co-branding. This enables you to add an image to the end user's Hypeconnect account. As you can see, when we disable and then enable the feature, the branding changes below.
Okay, that's excellent. And you can see employees is the next tab.
The employee tab gives us complete control of the users enabled in Hypeconnect. Imagine I have 100 estates across the country that I need to manage. As I can't do this on my own, I need to divide the workload up amongst my engineers. Here I can create the user and assign specific people the ability to manage specific sites, making sure that the regional engineers can support their local customers.
Okay, and what's the roles and permissions?
Roles and permissions log enables us to create predefined types of role and then assign permissions to those roles. For example, permissions for engineers to access across the estate that I mentioned earlier. I need the engineers to only be able to check live video with PTZ, but not see any playback footage or offload any information from the recorders.
Okay, and the operational log?
The operations log is a complete audit trail which logs all of the changes to the system. So you can track any changes made to any sites.
Okay, and is there any GDPR concerns here?
Well, it's key to mention here that Hypeconnect is a permission-based system. The responsibility of the permission to see any data is always delegated by the owner of the site, the end user.
Okay, and anything else we should be aware of?
Just the tools section. The tools section gives us access to some of our most powerful tools. Included are the disk calculator, the MVR channel calculator, focal length calculator, and bandwidth calculator. These are essential tools for helping to design a system.
That's excellent. So that's the web portal, pretty much covered off. So should we take an actual look at the application on our iPad, for example?
Okay, so here we have the application for Hypro-Connect running on an iPad. The application is available from our website, the Hik App Store. Once you've opened up the application, you can see we have a similar dashboard to the one that you see on the PC. From here, we can fully administer the ProConnect system. As you can see, you can add new sites or location information, add new devices such as DVRs, MVRs, or cameras, and you can also amend linkage rules for alarms and alerts. There is also access to our online tools.
Okay, and what can you do with these sites and locations in the app?
When we touch the Sites tab, we are taken to this site overview. We can see how many sites we have been added to and review any exceptions that we have. We can drill down into the device information, which is good for servicing and reporting of the products. We can also check permission levels and any linkage actions that we have. We can amend the details of those if necessary. For example, if an end user needs to schedule change for entering or exiting a property.
Okay, and what do these linkage templates look like at the top?
Linkage templates are a quick way to set up linkages. They enable quick access to a cause and effect type scenario. When an alarm triggers, which is cause, what happens, which is the effect.
Okay, and what can you do in the exception center?
When the exception center gives us the ability to see all of our exceptions that have happened on any sites that we have registered in the Hypro-Connect. We can easily review these on the application. We get an immediate overview of the systems, but then we can search easily by time, date, product, or exception type.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for that, Dan. So that's covered off the web portal and the app itself. So we're going to go to the Q&A session now. So if you can go to the bottom of your screen and get to the Q&A side of it and get any questions in that we may want to cover off. So by the power of television, Sawyer is going to be replaced Dan now, as he has, and we're going to go to the questions. So first question, how do I move a device to a different site?
So basically, this have to be done by the end user. So in end user Hypeconnect, he have to cancel the authorization of the device from the original site, then move to another site.
Okay, perfect. Okay, this is a long one. Is there an opportunity to put this application onto a secure private client network or Microsoft Azure, as there is no access to the internet and the client will not work with AWS due to corporate conflict?
Yes, this is more like a private ProConnect based on private cloud. This is in our roadmap next year.
Okay, excellent. So it's on the cards to come.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it possible for an ARC to connect to sites from Sentinel and IMIX via Hypeconnect?
Yes, we are already doing some integration with some ARC company, which will be available next quarter.
Okay. When you say next quarter, is that Q1 in the new year?
Q4 or Q1, depends
Okay.
on the whole process. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, next one. Does the installer always have access to the camera, or can the end user limit this and have them only monitor the health system?
Yes, that's correct. So the end user can limit the installer. So installer can only have access for monitor health rather than live view.
Okay, so that's the permissions and authentication side of it. Yeah?
Yes.
They have to ask for permission to
Yeah.
gain it. Okay. Next one. Will the end user need ProConnect, or can they just use Hypeconnect?
The end user can just use the Hypeconnect. The ProConnect is only designed for the installer.
Okay, perfect. Can Hypro-Connect box be used without a VR? So the cameras record only to the cloud storage, without a video recorder, without an MVR, I think that should be.
Yes, when the box is available, you don't need a recorder. The camera can talk to the box directly.
Okay, excellent. Next one. That's it, I think. Okay, that's perfect. All right, so if there are any questions we haven't covered, those were the frequently asked questions that would come up. If there aren't any questions that we haven't answered, then please do contact your BDM, regional BDM, who will be able to answer those questions for you. So thanks for joining me, Sawyer.
Thank you everyone.
I'm now going to pass back to Gary in a second, but if there's any more questions you want coming in, please keep them coming in. And Gary's going to go to the survey now. So back to you, Gary.
Thank you, and a huge thanks to Phil, Dan, and Sarah for a very interesting look at our Hypro-Connect solutions. And thank you to you, the participants and viewers today, for your questions. So I think we've answered a majority of the frequently asked questions. Some of the questions that came in were individually site-related, and we're unable to cover off everything in the course of today's seminar, but there are two ways to get further information. One of the most commonly asked questions that came in then was covered in the presentation. That's how do I get to the app? So if you go to appstore.hikvision.com, then you'll be able to download the app. And also for individual site-related questions, then you can get support from us by emailing support.uk@hikvision.com, and they'll be able to assist you if you're experiencing any difficulties in setting up. Okay. So for more general information, you can also go to our hikvision.com website. In the top right of the screen, there's a search facility. If you put in ProConnect, you'll be taken straight through to the relevant pages on our global website, and you'll be able to get all of the information that you need from there. At the end of the series of webinars, we'll also be uploading these seminars. So if you've missed the previous ones last week, or you can't attend for the remaining ones, then feel free to download this webinar and the other webinars within the series, and they should be on our website by the end of this week.